It's New Comic Book Day! Starring The X-Files, Adrian. Showing the latest in comics and giving his opinion.
Hello everyone. Oh man, so yeah, I'm gonna do some comic book stuff for March because I only go to the comic book store once a month and I don't get a whole lot of chance to read them. I'm actually on spring break at the moment. So let's get started. Miss Marvel number 13. I don't know about you folks, but I think I'm gonna put this on my pull list. I mean, it's been good. You know, I keep, off and on with this, but I think I might just start putting it on my pull list permanently. I don't know, it's just a book that's like in its own little world, It's like a fun little book in its own little world that doesn't seem to be connected to like a larger thing like Avengers and stuff, and I like that. And, in this issue, she pretty much does what a teenage girl does. I think. I've never been a teenage girl before, but hot guy, you don't want to go on a date, then there's trouble that happens, and, the artwork, I gotta say, is fantastic. I actually really do like the artwork. I mean, look at that, it's pretty cool, You know what I'm saying? And so she's pretty much fighting, and she finds out that there's a bunch of other Inhumans, too, and that there are Inhumans that are pretty much like the anarchists, if you will, or the extremists that want their own thing and that are planning on taking over the world and stuff. And the boyfriend, the guy that she liked, apparently, turned out that he's actually an Inhuman too. Because she was about to tell him, and so I'm really curious to see this, although I kind of have a feeling that it's a trap. I don't know why that is, but anyway, it was a solid issue. I poorly reviewed it, but pick up Miss Marvel, guys. It's good. It's highly recommended. I highly recommend it. I enjoy the hell out of it. And there's one thing, too, I don't know what the hell's happening with the Inhumans. Apparently, like, the Green Mist that, turned people into Inhumans somehow got out or something. I don't know what happened with that, because I know Marvel is pushing Inhumans because they own the rights to Inhumans, and they don't own the rights to X-Men, so X-Men's kind of taking a back seat. So that was Miss Marvel 13. Oh god, I had like 2 Ninja Turtles to review, and I'm like, I don't know, did this come out in March? I think it came out in late February, and I didn't pick it up because I was so busy. But I don't even know what I could say. It's just, this one is just like a review. It's just like them going to the Technodrome and doing battle. You get this really cool fight scene with him and Shredder, with Krang and Shredder, and of course, Krang just kicked his ass. I mean, come on. You get this really cool fight scene with like, the mutant animals, that's what they're going to call themselves now, and Splinter fighting the Foot Clan and Karai. I mean, look at that. Look at Overhop just chomping them down. So that was pretty good. You get a really good battle with them. There was no Casey or April, which is a little disappointing, but it's so jam-packed with other stuff, you're not really going to notice. And then you hear this Baxter Stockman trying to exact his own plan. So it's like, you got a few parts that you got, like, Shredder facing Krang directly. You got the Mud Animals and the freaking Splinter going after Karai and her Foot Clan. And then you got Leonardo and the Turtles kind of doing the infantry work inside the Technodrome. And pretty much Krang finds out, and at the end, pretty much he finds out that, like, the Shredder finds out that he was betrayed, and he tells him to kill Donatello. And this was 43, this is before that issue, and I really like the battle scene. I really like how, he keeps getting into Karai's head, how Splinter, because Karai may not be completely evil after all. So I like that undertone that now maybe you might have Karai that might go against Shredder, and they're kind of laying seeds for future storylines. So I've really enjoyed that. And Ninja Turtles 43. This is the one that everybody was like. That's my universal voice for everyone. But that's when everyone with all the hoopla was about was for number 44. I mean, I didn't even have to worry. I have this on my pool. I've had this on my pool for I don't know, over a year, I'm guessing. Probably a little longer than that. It's issue number 44. And they always give me the unless they run out, they always give me the B variant, the B cover, which I love. And this is a classic issue where Donatello dies. There, I hope I got the weekend right. But this is where Donatello dies, and it's like, if you look on the internet, I don't think he's dead. I think he's like severely injured, kind of like Ninja Turtles the movie, the first one when Raphael got his ass kicked, something like that. I think. But this is a momentous thing right there. You know, he had no chance. And I really like Rocksteady and Bebop because Rocksteady and Bebop, they're like the weird hybrid where they're stupid, but they're actually formidable foes. So it's kind of like the old cartoon where when they were an idiot, but they're actually formidable foes, which unlike the old cartoon, they weren't. They always were an idiot, and the turtles always kicked their asses. So I really like the characterization of them. And I really love the battle with the turtles and freaking Krang. That was just amazing. And oh god, this is one of my favorite parts. Raphael just sticks him in the neck with a sigh. I mean, that was just great. Oh god. And then, this is the part where Karai is like, you can tell there's some internal conflict with her. So they're laying seeds for the future. So we'll see what happens. And then pretty much at the end, Krang succeeded in terraforming, but he terraformed only the island. So it's kind of like a haven for his people. But he didn't get the chance to do it, to terraform the rest of the world, because the turtles took his ass out. Look at that. I mean, this was such a great battle. I enjoyed the hell out of it. Look at Raphael. He's like cracks the case. He cracks the case thing. They all kick him, and Krang goes down, and it was just great. Oh, it was just a great battle. And then of course, Dr. Honeycutt goes home and he takes Krang with him. And at the end, you have this scene with the shell right there, and that's the end. This was a good book, folks. When Donatello got hit, some people were really sad. I kind of was a little angry. I was like, oh, no, I really want to see Bebop and Rocksteady dead now. I really want to see them get their asses handed to them now. That was my reaction. That was more of a reaction of Raphael when I read that. Everyone else, some people were sad. I was like angry. I was like, oh, they better pay. They better get crippled or something. That was my reaction to you, son of a. Ugh. But it was such a good book, guys. I mean, it's like there's so many threads. Every Ninja Turtles book, it's like they always have so many threads, and they're always like building to the next story. They're always laying seeds that you might miss or you had to pay a little bit of more of attention to. But just like they had a great battle with Krang, what happened with Donatello, the emotion at the end. Then you have this Baxter Stockman who has been Shredder, and it was just a crazy, really good book. And if you haven't been picking up Ninja Turtles, what is with you people? Pick it up. It is fantastic. It's been good since issue 1. I mean, I only know that because I read like the first issue from like the special reprint stuff that you have. That's how I read the first issue, but it's been good. I mean, like, I remember like the first storyline was pretty good, and then after you get the first one, you had to get through some horrible artwork, and then once you get through that, the horrible artwork, if the story's still good, then you're still fine. But Ninja Turtles, highly recommend picking these up, guys. Batgirl number 40. Oh, this was also interesting. On one hand, she reveals her identity again to someone else, which is like, I have mixed feelings about that, and I'm just like, oh, you're really stuck at this whole keeping your identity secret, but at the same time, the woman that she did reveal it to, could help her, and it wasn't her fault too. So, I'm kind of conflicted with that, but it was just a good issue. I mean, the sentient being here's what's taking over her, and apparently, like I said, I was really like, oh, that's what happened. It had like a little bit of a brain scan from Barbara Gordon when she was just recently crippled by the Joker and she was in a really bad place. And if the sentient being, the AI, is pretty much has all those feelings and just pure anger. And, so that's why she's all angry. It's from this point on. A really good a little bit of a backstory that's really good. And pretty much Batgirl, she breaks free and she fights the guy that's controlling him. And the plan for the sentient, the AI, is to wipe out Gotham, pretty much wipe out all the criminals. And they, ironically, are all of Barbara Gordon's friends. Alicia, the one dude that helps her with her tech. Black Canary. She's targeting all of them. And so pretty much Batgirl just goes and lays it to smack it down. Look at that. And this was an awesome scene. It was just like, kick the chair out the window, jump, hold on to the balloons, and it was just like, and then land on the concrete freaking like nothing. She jumps out of a window and does it. I was just like, Batgirl was a badass, So, but yeah, she is, and pretty much she ends up saving the crowd, and she ends up using her brain instead of like punching. So you get both. You get to see her using her brain and using her combat skills, and I like the fact that you kind of illustrate both of them, and she kind of tricks the AI into essentially confusing itself and giving her friend a little open window to just completely dismantle it. And at the end of the issue, Black Canary and Batgirl finally fully make up. Her right here, she looks like she's going to become a sidekick for her, and they're thinking of using like the algorithm to predict crime, and she's thinking of kind of working with Batgirl with it, so they can predict crime and she can better respond to it. So that was the end, and that was the end of the issue. It was solid, not great, but it was solid. I will say it was fun, and I liked how they illustrate Batgirl. They got the character down pretty well, and this was actually like the first ending to like the long storyline, because every time I read the Batgirl issue, it's like it almost feels like a one shot, but there's like an underlying tone of like another longer story arc building. So it's like almost like here you got a one shot, but then you have something that's building to the end of the story arc. So, and then Justice League 2015. There's another one that I would highly recommend people pick up. I think they're coming out with Justice League 2001, which I'm interested, but at the same time I'm cheap, so we'll see. But anyway, with this, I just gotta say, I love Keith Gibbons' banter. He writes such good banter. So funny. It's like they're fighting in the middle of a battle, and then the Flash, who's a female, is pretty much just like, Wonder Woman is just like, don't hurt my friend. She's like, wait, did you call me a friend? She's like, no. And then, Superman, they're insinuating that Superman has like a crush on her, and it's just fun banter. It's hilarious stuff. He knows how to write a good book and a serious book at the same time. And the artist is now back, and we had a guest artist. But in this issue, they're kind of pretty much going back where Ice is, and her palace, and pretty much the demons' forces are starting to overrun it. So you get like a lot of battles. You get Flash in probably one of her first battles right here. And she's really, her first battle. And she's scared as crap, but she has like Barry Allen and her own DNA. And pretty much the Ice Queen, it was really pissed, and she was just like, oh, screw this, you do not desecrate my temple. She freezes everyone. And then we got her friend over here, Fire, who apparently betrayed her, and it was centuries and thousands of years of hating each other. And just when it looks like they're gonna have like this huge battle royal and stuff, but then here's what happens. They're like, oh no, they hug each other, they're friends. I'm sorry, and then it ends with the Justice League pretty much capturing Ariel. So I have mixed feelings about this issue. I love the banter for it. I love the action scenes, but I thought it was really anticlimactic at the ending, because I was expecting this big battle, and then Ice just freezes everyone. You're expecting this big battle between Fire and Ice, and expecting this huge battle, and then it was just like, oh no, we're friends. I can't do this. We can't fight. And it was just like, I just remember, I was like, when reading, I was like, wow, that was really anticlimactic, because it was like they were building to this in the last two issues, and it's just like, that was it. There was no payoff, and I was just like, that was really anticlimactic. So I was kind of left with just a disappointed feeling with that, where it was just like, like, come on, really? It was like, but I did like the fact that it looks like they're going to come out from the Injustice League. They're going to go after the Injustice League now. So I do like that. I did like this because, Sinestro, clone, Lana Lane, clone, Bane, clone, Hercules, clone. So I did like this spoiler. I love the banter between the group. I love the action scenes, but like I said, the payoff just wasn't there. It was so disappointed. I was like, man, that was really anticlimactic, but What can you do? It's still good though. It was good, but it wasn't as good as it could have been if they actually had that payoff at the end. So that was Justice League 3000 number 15, and that were my thoughts. If anyone can make it through the video, congratulations. I'm also on spring break now, so I'm happy for that. And I am also going to C2E2 in April, late April. If anybody's in the Chicagoland area or lives around the Chicagoland area and wants to go to see and is going to C2E2 or wants to go and wants to meet up, let me know on YouTube or Twitter or whatever. So yeah, and thanks for watching, folks.